to Tim Horton. Do you understand? You redeem your gun, you give to me, and then you get $25 gift card to Tim Horton. If you do not do this, we will send the RCMP to pick up your gun and then get a gift card. Please, redeem.
Do not redeem it! Do not redeem it! Do not redeem it! Why you redeem it?
This is very good deal. This deal is not going to last very long, so I'm asking Canadian today to bring me...
Yeah, we want that good deal. We want the deal. Do not do it. Another reason why we want Alberta independence. Now!
In the shadow of the Rockies,
that's right.
Where the wild winds
how's everyone
blow,
today?
Albertans rise up, tired of the status quo.
Hopefully you're doing well.
Oil sands pumping black gold.
Daniel Barry,
Beef on
first
the
in.
grill so
Hey.
fine. Grain
Big
fields
ups,
waving
bro.
golden, canola blooming in the sunshine. But Ottawa's taking our billions.
Another big
and
show
equalization gains.
today. Just
Sending
for
it
you.
east to Quebec while
Thanks
we
for popping
shoulder
in.
the blame. No more pipelines blocked. No more carbon
That's
tax
right.
chains.
No
We're
more,
done
no
with
more,
the
no more.
feds, breaking free from their reins.
Alberta freedom.
Ringing loud and true.
Woo.
Sovereignty calling, independence
That's right.
coming through. No more woke liberalism, stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cutting loose from the strife.
That's
Rocky
right.
Mountains watching as we claim our own land. Freedom for our families with a rifle in hand.
Alberta freedom.
Let the anthems roll. We're building our nation.
Bum, 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 bum.
Forevermore.
Oh, yeah. Forever. We can
From
do
the
it.
prairie to the peaks, where the eagles soar high.
We're talking
We're
about
sick of the
freedom.
traitors calling us traitors, that's
Everyone's
a lie.
going Berzerk.
Equalization's a thief, stealing our hard-earned pay, while they push their agendas, turning night into day. Beef ranchers and farmers, grain silos stand proud, oil rigs turning profits
Hey, hey.
under Alberta's cloud.
Good to see everyone.
No more begging for ports, landlocked but strong we stand. We'll negotiate our future with the world in our hand.
Alberta freedom.
Ringing loud and true. Sovereignty
You're corny,
calling,
Charlie.
independence coming through. No more woke liberalism, stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, good to see everyone in there today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Appreciate your company as everyone filters into the room. Just let me go over to my live and give myself a thumbs up. Make sure you sub to the channel if you like the content. Unsub from the channel if you don't like the content. You know, you're free to do what you want. This is pretty much a freedom of speech channel. Freedom to come, freedom to go, freedom to talk. Just be careful what you say because, you know, most people are mods in here. Freedom has its limitations, you know. Let me give myself a thumbs up here. Hey, have to at least do that. Woohoo! Yeah, it's country and western area here in Alberta. Lots of cowboys, lots of farming, lots of horses and, you know, rodeos and stuff like that. Got the Calgary Stampede, all kind of good stuff. How's everyone doing today? We got Pat Pfeiffer in there. Good to see you. Coming in on, on Twitch over there. Okay, nice to see you, Pat. Charlie says, yo. Good to see you. We got Daniel Barry coming in there first. Wow. You're right on the gun there today. Looking good. 18 plus 4. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, make sure you guard your privacy. Yeah. Yeah, Pat, good to see you. Good to see you. Coming in from the MCF program there. You're like a mainstay on MCF's panel there at nighttime. But good to see you there, Pat. Popping in. I'm all for Alberta freedom, as you can tell by the Alberta flag behind me here, and the Rocky Mountains behind the flag. It's a beautiful thing. We're feeling really good here in Alberta. We're really hitting hard at that federal government. Federal government is not treating us really well here in Alberta. Just like in Quebec. You know how Quebec threatened to separate? And they had 2 votes, actually, and they never got 51% either time. But holy shit, did they ever get a lot of perks, you know? Quebec is getting a ton of money, way more money than any other province in the Confederation. So, you know, if they can do it, why can't we do it over here in Alberta? You know, we may not secede. Hey, Al, good to see you. Al Munson in the chat. We may not secede, you know, like it may not happen, you know. I'm like pretty positive that there's a lot of people on board. It's not just like 10% or 20% or even 30%. It's like a lot more than that want independence from Canada. So it may very well happen. And if it does, I'm all gung-ho for it. I'm like, hey, good deal. You know, no problem, you know, in my books at all. But on the other hand, if it doesn't happen, well, it's like you know, like a verbal warning shot to Ottawa that we're pissed off, we're not happy. We've already voted on getting rid of the equalization crap that's going on. We have voted for it. Albertans voted on it many years ago, and you know, submitted that vote to Ottawa, and Ottawa did nothing about it. All they did is just continue to take advantage of us here in Alberta. And it's hurting the little guy. It's hurting the guy that's even on welfare, the guy that's on AISH, the guy that's on unemployment. You know, like all of those people are hurting really bad. Price of food is really skyrocketing all over the place. Yeah, it's terrible how it has become so expensive, even for the little guy that's not even working, for the little worker. Like, I'm all out for the little guy. You know, it's not all about money. It's not all about money for me. It's, you know, like, hey, I'm in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not on welfare. I worked hard all my life. I'm just a hard-working guy, you know. Like, if you think of other people that have never worked a day in their life, or like maybe worked a couple of weeks or something, and they go, oh, well, I'll just live off the government or whatever. Yeah, well, that's not me. I'm like, work. It's like I teach my sons to get a job, you know, first of all, get an education, you know, get the most education that you can before you get a job, you know, do things like that, like be a resourceful, successful person. Don't just live off of the government. Don't just live off of welfare. You know, a lot of people do stuff like that, and hey, you can do that. You can survive on welfare. You can absolutely do that. You can survive on government assistance. You know, hey, and some people need to do that because they're so impaired that they can't do a damn thing. You know, but if your vocal cords work, you could probably get a job working, you know, for some entity answering a phone or something like that. Dash and Grandma, hey, good to see you in there. We've got Al Munson in the head here, or what's that? The way he tilts his head back like that. It's just so adorable. Dash and Grandma in there. Good to see you. Yeah, great supporter of the chat here. U.S. is no better off. Yeah, I understand what you say there, Pat. How's the chat here? Give me, with this chat, oh, it's over here on this side here. Do you guys like the chat in here? Do I need to make are the comments too large, too small? What about these avatars here? The avatars okay? I can adjust all those things there to make the chat larger or smaller, make the avatars larger, smaller. Just let me know if it's okay. I don't know what kind of a device you're watching on, whether it's a phone, whether you can even see that on the phone, whether it's even usable. Is it something that is okay on the stream, or is it something that I should get rid of? Like, I don't necessarily have to have that on there. I could just, be like this without that chat in there. Or if I put the chat in there, I can adjust how high it is on the screen, how low it is, how wide it is, stuff like that. So just let me know what you think of that little chat bot, or chat box, I guess you call it, if it's something that we need to have in there. Let's see. We got Mind Stretcher in there. Hey, Mind Stretcher. Good to see you. We have a little more freedom than Canada. Yeah, in the States, absolutely. A couple of my comments didn't go through, but you know how that goes. Yeah, well, on these kind of things, it's like a different system than what you're looking at that's capturing the chat. And you're right. Sometimes you'll type something in, and it may not show up in the chat, or it may not show up on this chat bot here, or chat box. I'm calling it a bot. It's not really a bot. It's just a chat box where it's capturing it there. Keep up the chat for all the cornballs that block and hide. Yeah, exactly. Stuff will show up here where it may not show up if you're whatever blocked or something like that. I don't know how that works, but they're two different things that are capturing the chat there. Anyways, hopefully it's okay. I don't see anybody talking about the size or anything like that. Hopefully the size is okay. We'll go in with some of the stuff here that we're going to be talking about here today. Yeah, they will love it, Tommy. Okay, sounds good. Well, you're being real friendly today, Charlie. You're much more friendly in my chat than you are over in Catamus Rex's. Do I read Catamus Rex's chat? I do. Yeah, I do. I go over there and I see what's happening, but you only have to go over there like maybe twice a day or something to pretty much read everything that's in her chat, because everything moves so slowly. It's usually Al posting some video of some something that's up his alley or something like that, and Charlie commenting about something or other, and you guys trying to rag on me a little bit by posting my first name in there, or some kind of, Charlie, yeah, what are you posting on me on Rumble there or something there, some crap type stuff. Hey, I don't mind it. I like when people post stuff about me, because it shows me that you're watching me. You're actually scraping stuff from the internet or from me or whatever, and then posting it, and other people are trying to make fun of me or whatever. And hey, it's like good or bad. It's like Queasy over there. Good or bad, it doesn't matter how you are, what you are. People are going to watch you. People are going to complain about you. People are going to comment, and every little thing gives you a little bit of promotion. It doesn't matter how good or bad of a person that you actually are. You've got an audience, and people are going to watch you, and they're not going to comment on you, but they're still going to watch you, even if you're the worst person in the world. My wife doesn't like to be on the internet. She's more of a private person that doesn't want her personal life on here. As a matter of fact, if she had her way, she would say, Tommy, get off the internet. It's not good. Eventually somebody's going to attack you or attack us or attack our family. In fact, isn't there somebody out there that constantly says that something's going to happen to me, and kind of tries to keep me on edge or something, that, we're going to get you. I know where you are. I know where you live. I know everyone here, and I know the meanest people in this town. You know the meanest people in this town, do you? Okay, well, what does that mean? What exactly are you insinuating, yeah. And then run over to the RCMP and, rag on them a little bit, or something, just for the fun of it. Yeah. But anyways, it's funny. It's the internet. I like to think that everybody is a celebrity. If you're on the internet and you have a channel, just like Al Bunsen, you're now a celebrity. You're, a faceless celebrity. Al Munson, the faceless celebrity. I should actually put you on low-cow celebrities there on my channel. By the way, we are streaming on Kick, on Facebook, on Tommy Temper on YouTube, on PressPad on YouTube, on locale celebrities on YouTube, on channel reviews on YouTube, on Tommy Temper's show on Twitch. We're live on X, and I believe we're live on Rumble. I don't know for sure without my actually checking Rumble, which I'm not going to check Rumble, but if anyone is watching over on Rumble, maybe they'll comment. This is the first time that I'm live on Rumble in a long time. I was live on Rumble many years ago when the Rumble first started up, but I didn't really use that account until I just signed into it here last night, and I don't even know if it's working over on Rumble, but we'll see. But it's apparently Tommy Temper or Tommy Temper's show, one of the two, over on Rumble, because they have a different thing there where you have a name that you sign in with, and then you have a channel name. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Okay, we got CS in there. Hey, good to see you, CS. Al says you need a headset like Brett if you want to take this to the next level. Yeah, right. Actually, I watched a little bit of his stream there. That headset sounds really pro, like that microphone on that headset sounds really good. It's not some little tinny piece of junk or something, I was actually quite impressed with the audio on his headset. So that's pretty good. How's that working for you, Tommy? A lot of channels to be streaming to. Well, it's working pretty good. I'm pretty sure that the chat is hooked up to everything. I'm not sure if the chat is hooked up to Facebook, though. I had my account suspended over on Facebook for a while, for a day or so, and then they brought it back again there. So we're good to go on Facebook. But yeah, all of the chat kind of feeds into here. And then you may not see it if you're on Facebook, but the chat will show up. Like you can see there's some a chat from Botrix coming in on Twitch. So you'll see the Twitch thing there. Like we have Davo is over there on Twitch. So hey, good to see you. So yeah, we'll see some stuff coming in from the different feeds, or in one of the many YouTube channels that I'm on. You'll see the stuff coming in over on with the YouTube symbol, but it won't say exactly what channel that it's coming in from. But yeah, anyways, the main channel that everybody is watching on is Tommy Temper's show on YouTube. So if you're watching on any of the platform, the big channel where all the chat is coming in on is Tommy Temper's show on YouTube, and that's where we'll, as I go on here, it takes about an hour to build up to like a higher number of people watching. So we're not doing too bad here since we just started streaming. Let's go to some of the stuff that I have up here. Yeah. Okay, anyways, we're wanting to separate from Canada, so we've got this thing here that I see that somebody posted, which is a kind of a neat thing. I don't know if it's a card decal or something like that, but yeah, that's a nice post. I like stuff like that. It's looking excellent. We've got from the Rebel News, we've got former premier's comments are driving more Albertans to separatism, to separate, yeah, we have the Premier Daniel Smith in Alberta, and it's actually not Daniel Smith, it's Jason Kenney. And I actually had a picture of me beside Jason Kenney somewhere on the internet. I should actually pull that up here. But anyways, former Jason Kenney, former Premier of Alberta, shared his views on Alberta's independence movement last week, sitting down for an interview with David Cochrane on CBC's Power in Politics program. The former Alberta Premier called on Federalist parties to make it clear that separatists don't have a place in pro-Canada party. Yeah, well, what about the separatists in Quebec? Quebec tried to separate from Canada twice already. What, they don't have a place in Confederation? They're still in Confederation, and they get the bulk of the equalization payments that Alberta pays into the federal government. So there you go. Threatening to separate actually gives you a lot of perks. And that's what a lot of people don't realize is that, I'll say it, but I don't hear anybody else saying it. But threatening to separate does cause Ottawa to jump. And now you're seeing Carney jump and going, oh, no, we'll build a pipeline. No, please, Alberta. He doesn't actually say that, but in his mind, the Liberals and Carney are like, no, please don't separate. Please don't do that. We'll give you a pipeline. Hey, we'll work on that pipeline. There's an MOU going on there, but for a pipeline, you have to increase carbon taxes in Alberta phenomenally to all of your corporations. Which us here in Alberta are going, where's my buzzer noise? I need a buzzer noise here. It's got to be a buzzer noise here somewhere. Here it is. Yeah, there's the buzzer noise. Okay, buzzer noise. Cue the buzzer noise. Yeah. Oh, I'm in Canada, so everything is East Indian here in Canada, don't you know? Like our whole culture is changing. I'm going to have to learn how to wear a turban. And, you go, oh, you're so racist, Tommy. You're just so racist. It's like Queenie. Queenie's like the most racist person in the world, against white people. Like the crap that she says against white people. Meanwhile, she's like mostly white, like that's funnier than shit. But, yeah, she calls me racist because I put a meme up about some chiefs that are against Alberta, independence. It's just like ridiculous. Like I'm the most inclusive person in the world. I love everyone. Let's all get together. I don't care if you're East Indian or whether you're Arab or whether you're black, brown, white, yellow, whatever you happen to be. Let's just all have a big love fest, But you know what I like the best? I like the days of the hippies. Remember the hippies? Yeah, you probably don't remember because you weren't there. But in the days of the hippies, it was like love. It was all love, and everyone smoke a joint and lay on the grass and, have free sex, free sex with everybody and just a fun time. And it didn't matter who you were. It doesn't matter if you're gay or if you're, trans or if it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. It's just everybody loved everybody else. And yeah, I had friends that were gay, by the way. So, don't say that I'm homophobic. I don't care if what you do, you know what I mean? Just don't indoctrinate my children. That's all, like leave the people that are under 18 years of old out of the picture, right? Otherwise, if you're 18 and plus, then just have fun, relax, take it easy. And we just need to love everybody. Okay. Now that's where I stand. That's where my mind is, from the mindset. Okay. And then you guys are like, oh, well, he makes fun of this guy or makes fun of, East Indian or makes fun of someone from China, or he makes fun of a guy from Scotland, or makes fun of a guy from Sweden, or makes fun of a guy like really, like I'll make fun of anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, whatever. Like this is like a comedy show, right? So think of it like that. You're going to hear a little bit of everything here from me. So take it with a grain of salt. Don't just say, oh, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're homophobic, you're xenophobic, you're misogynist, you're racist, you're whatever. Like I've heard all of those names already, and they're all overused. And you know what? It's not illegal to be any of those things, It's not. It's not. You can be any of those things. You out there. I'm talking to you. You can be any of those things, and you can call anybody any of those names, but that doesn't mean that the guy that you're calling those names is doing anything illegal. Everything is legal up until the government says it's not legal, okay? Now, if the government comes out with some kind of a bill that says it's hateful for you to say something against a particular group or against a particular person, and you do something like that, well, okay, then it's a crime. And then the cop comes knocking on your door. Oh, no, it's the cops. Oh, no. FBI, open Oh, geez. I thought I was within the law. Sorry for doing that. It was just social media, and it's just a show. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I'll make sure I don't do that again, but, don't just blatantly brush somebody with something and go, you're this, that, or the other thing, and think it's going to stick, because it's not going to stick. It really isn't going to work. Okay. Anyways, the former premier called on the Federalist parties to make it clear that separatists don't have a place in a pro-Canada party, accusing those individuals of trying to infiltrate these parties because they can't get elected on a separatist ticket. Nobody tried to get elected on a separatist ticket. There was no party, no Alberta separatist party. No, there was nothing like that. All there was somebody said, let's collect some signatures and see whether or not Albertans are interested in separating. Let's make a plebiscite to put it to a vote. That's the only thing that happened. And over 300,000 people signed up to separate, okay, that are going to potentially separate. More people didn't have the correct ID. They didn't have, they had a P.O. box on their driver's license or something, so they couldn't sign up. There were other people that were afraid to sign up because, just like the people in the convoy, they got their bank accounts frozen, and that people got put in jail, and people are deathly afraid of that. They're afraid of the government, right? In Canada, people are really afraid that the government will throw them in jail, or that the government will freeze their bank accounts. Really, that's what the convoy did. The convoy proved that there are crazy people in the government that will actually take advantage of you if you protest, right, and throw you in jail. And really, the Alberta independence movement it's pretty much a protest. It's a protest against the bad government, the bad governance that's happening in Ottawa. The Liberals have been in power for such a long time. And, it's like Brett says, it doesn't matter whether you got the right-wingers in power or the left-wingers in power. It's not really changing what's happening for us here in Alberta at all. You have to do something else, like maybe vote for the PPC or some little minor party that might have more push to do something. But, the fact of the matter is you vote for the small little party and you're pretty much throwing your vote away because nobody else is voting for them, and they'll never get in, right? So, Brett, you know what I think about that. And you and I, it's hard to talk to you because I know you say the same thing over and over and over. You're like a broken record. And I know exactly what you mean. And really, even voting for another party is not going to change things because we have a bad government. What I'd like to see is a government that is by direct representation by the people. In other words, most of the government things that run day to day, you don't need everyone involved. But when you have major things happening, you should put it to a vote to the people. And nowadays with the internet, okay, we should have a number, such as your social insurance number, associated to a website where you can check in and you can vote if you want to vote. So whenever the government is doing anything, let's say, for example, that they want to throw money away to some gender equity thing in Biafra or something, you should be able to put it to a vote to the people so the people can decide if you want to give money to that gender equity thing happening over in Africa, okay? Because right now, I don't get a vote on anything like that. Carney is throwing money away on issues like that in other countries that we all shake our head and go, no, we don't want to have anything to do with that. No, we don't want that to happen. And no, you're throwing our hard-earned tax money away, okay? And a lot of what the government is doing is dealing with money. So yes, I'm talking about money because the governments of the world know how to spend money. They spend money like crazy on the stupidest things, on things that don't benefit you or I, and why the hell are we having to pay for that? That's why our taxes are so high. right? What we want to do is elect a government that is going to listen to us and not spend money on foolish things, on stupid things, right? And that can be done. By basically, this is what we're doing. So far, we've been unable to actually elect a government that actually listens to us, right? What you do is you vote. Doesn't matter who you vote in. They don't listen to you anyways. They don't want to move forward on direct representation by the people. Have the people vote on most everything, right? Nothing wrong with that at all, because then at least the people that you elect are not pushing through shit that really makes them rich or enriches them or enriches some company in their back pocket, like Brookfield, right? In Carney's case, which really Carney is and Brookfield are just like that. He's got stock options and stuff like that in that company. So yeah, why wouldn't he be pushing billions of dollars worth of investments where it's going to profit a company like Brookfield? Hey, why wouldn't you? I don't know. It's just basic human nature that if he can get rich off of doing something, why wouldn't he? Hey, that's exactly what he's doing. All I can say is shame on Carney for doing that, and shame on all of you elbows up liberals there that elected him, and you see what he's doing, and you're still going, oh, elbows up, elbows up. And I like that video of Carney's wife there with the elbows up. Oh, man, that is the worst, the absolute worst, elbows up, yeah. Who comes up with something like that? We got Masad in the house here. Hey, good to see you there, Masad. Thanks for popping in here. Yeah, we got David in there, coming in there with those cherries in there. Like to see all those cherries in there, looking good. Yeah, thanks a lot for popping in here. Oh, what was that? Let's see this comment here. We'll bring in some comments here. Al Trans Munson needs help with medical bills as his wife hit him. What? With his John Schwina. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Al, leave Al alone. Al is actually one of the nicest trolls around. Really, in my book, Al, really, honestly, you are, you make a little bit of fun of me, whatever, and, I like listening to your jokes and stuff like that. You pay attention to what people are saying. I like that. You like watching my show because, I'm like just a guy with a mouthpiece in the channel, whatever, that is on social media. And, I know the technology. I've got a good grasp of the technology to be able to do crap on here that most other people can't. So, a lot of people like watching that. I've kind of honed down a little bit on the sound effects here because my sound effects board has been basically hacked by me doing, not really hacked, but by StreamYard updates, has basically erased most of my sounds on here. So you haven't heard a lot of those boing sounds and whatever, that kind of crap. But I do have a couple of sounds on here still. Computer is shutting down. Yeah, a little bit of a computer error. Yeah, we got a few things on here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, a lot of our sounds are gone. So, but we do have some of our standard ones here.
Who's your daddy?
Oh, we need that a little louder. Okay, yeah. Oh, no!
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
That's right.
And I'm all out of gum.
Yeah, so it's time to kick ass. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay, back to the show. Okay, where did I leave off? Oh, I left off with this bit here where the rebel was going to talk about Jason Kenney, okay, and being on the National. It's a television show, by the way, on that network that I don't like, the CBC. Did you guys see that video that I put out there the other day where I was listening to CBC radio on my way back from Sylvan Lake, driving to Edmonton, and I listened to CBC. That's the only place that I listen to CBC, right? Because really, I have to monitor what's happening to our national broadcaster and what they're talking about, right? So they do this show, and it's Mother's Day, right? Mother's Day. This is on Sunday. I'm driving from Sylvan Lake back to Edmonton. I turn on the radio. What's on CBC? Oh, because usually they don't have anything about a Canadian, right? It's some East Indian band is going to be playing in Rogers Place in Edmonton or something like that. And they did, and a bunch of fights in that broke out, and it was all completely full of East Indian people watching the ding, 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 this kind of music. Yeah, and they're fighting like crazy in the auditorium. A bunch of fights broke out. Yeah. So that happened. Apparently they like fighting and stuff like that. But anyways, I turned on CBC, thinking that they're probably not going to be talking about something like last year where they had a transvestite on there for Mother's Day, and they're interviewing. No, it was a queer. No, it wasn't. Sorry, it wasn't a transvestite. It was a queer person. They're saying, "Oh, I identify as a queer person," and they're interviewing that person on Mother's Day, and I'm going, "Oh man, this is like bad programming for Mother's Day." What kind of a shot to all the mothers out there. So this year, as I'm tuning in a year later, thinking, "Oh, it's Mother's Day. Let's see what they're doing on CBC." Well, they bring on this woman who's. She says, "Oh, I'm Canadian." She goes, first of all, "Oh, I'm Canadian, and I've been living in Australia for, I forget, it was like 20 years or something like that, She has a wee bit of an Australian accent, And she goes, "Oh, I'm like 70 years old," and it was a woman, right? And well, I don't know if it was for Mother Days or what, but they were doing the interview with her, and she goes, "Well, and I decided that I'm going to buy myself an escort," right? An escort. And I'm thinking, "Oh, an escort?" And she starts talking about this escort where she's, has to pay money for an escort. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this is Mother's Day, This is not, the greatest story to be putting out on Mother's Day where she's getting an escort, Well, and then she starts talking about, that the escort told me not to pay up front for the services. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, well, obviously it's more than just a date out or something like that, And then I get distracted or whatever, and then they're into a little bit further in the interview, and they start talking about orgasms and all kind of crap like that. And I'm thinking, and my son is sitting right beside me in the car, middle of the afternoon, right? And they're talking about escorts and orgasms and stuff like that on our national broadcaster, CBC, who's getting $1.5 billion from the taxpayers of Canada. Part of that being money out of my pocket, taxes, and everybody else across the whole country. Really, shame on you, CBC, for crap like that you're putting out there. Really, honestly, like it's not wholesome programming. Why not talk about a mother on Mother's Day and about maybe the fact that she has children because she's a mother, instead of talking about some 70-year-old lady that's out, with a gigolo having an orgasm and this kind of crap. Like, really, that was really a terrible thing to hear. And, hey, honestly, I'm a pretty liberal person, like when it comes to sex and stuff like that. I'm like joking around and telling jokes about stuff like that, whatever. I'm not when my children are present, though. And, I don't like talking or hearing about stuff like that when my kid's around, because what's that teaching him, that he should go out and buy a prostitute or something like that, just the opposite of what they're advising or talking about on CBC. Like, come on, it's like unbelievable. I wish, if you don't believe me, go into the archives of the CBC radio, which I'm sure you can find on CBC Radio Canada, whatever, .ca or something, where they probably archive crap like that. And you'll see, I'm not lying about that. But it's like that whenever I turn on CBC. It's absolutely garbage. It's stuff that I don't want to hear. It's stuff that is just not wholesome at all for the average person in Canada. It's really leftism. It's really, really left. It's something that some lefty, somebody that's like far extreme left would think that's great for everybody to listen to. Anyways, let's listen to this bit here. This is our old premier. Some people call him Fat Stalin. Yeah, but this is the man that used to run our province here, and he basically got booted out after COVID, right? A lot of people that were in power during COVID locked you up and whatever, made you get a passport and a job and all the rest of it there before you could go even to a visit your child at the hockey arena or get a burger or something, go into a restaurant. You needed a jab passport and that kind of stuff. He was the guy that was behind that in Alberta. Jason Kenney is his name. Let's listen to this clip here with him. Hear what he has to say.
I want to talk about Jason Kenney. So he was on, I think it was Power and Politics the other day, you know, the flagship CBC show that nobody watches with David Cochrane.
Yeah.
And no one would know who David Cochrane is if it weren't for how viscerally disliked he is by independent journalists in this country. But Jason Kenney was on there because he's the new face of federalism. And I mean, and I hope he never stops, because he misread the anger of Albertans once and got himself thrown out on his ass. So I, you know, as a separatist, never shut up, Jason Kenney. We can't get enough of you. But he has sort of injected himself into this discussion now, instead of going away in shame and never showing his face in polite company ever again. And he is angry that there are separatists involved in other political parties. I've got some news for him. Just again, based on Act for Alberta internal polling that I'll refer to after we show this clip, and then we'll react to it. And then I know Kelly had a tweet about Jason Kenney and just how vicious and Trudeau-esque he's being these days to people who...
Yeah. So what she's trying to say is Jason Kenney, the guy with the suit on the left there, he's really against Alberta independence. And he is what I would call a federalist, right? He wants Alberta to remain in Canada, which even when he was the premier of Alberta, he was absolutely a federalist, you know? And let's face it, if you're a premier of a province, you are basically a federalist, right? Because you're in power and you're probably wanting to keep your province in confederation. And he's not the premier of Alberta anymore, but he's sort of the mouthpiece of Alberta staying in Canada, okay?
To be his most ardent supporters. So anyways, let's watch how he's making the case for federalism to David Cochrane, of all people. Can you imagine how many Albertans were glued to their TV screens when this aired?
Yeah.
Look, I think any responsible leader should make it clear that those folks have, if they're committed to tearing the country apart, they don't have a place in a pro-Canada party. And
okay, he's talking about me, by the way, me. Okay, when and he's using words like tear Canada apart. No, we're not tearing Canada apart. We're seceding. We want to secede from Canada. We want to become our own country. And we will still have relations with Canada. Don't worry about that. And Canada will still be able to be Canada without Alberta, you know. But, you know, listen to the verbiage that he uses, you know, like tear Canada apart. And, of course, instead of using the word independence, they really like to use the word separatists or seppies, short, you know, that's like a dirty word that they made up called seppies. So we're all seppies now, and traitors and stuff like that.
You know, they have their own separatist parties. Why are they trying to infiltrate a federalist party? There's one reason: because it's the party in power, and because they can't get elected on a separatist ticket in 50 years.
Well, yeah, it's like in Quebec. Quebec has a separatist party, and that separatist party is only in Quebec, and of course it will never get elected federally because it's only in one province, you know. But we don't even have a separatist party in Alberta, not at all. All we are is just people that have come together that have said we want to vote for independence. That's all.
Contesting over 24 federal and provincial elections in over 1,600 riding elections. They have only ever won one in a by-election in 1982 at the height of the National Energy Program, a seat that they lost 6 months later.
Right.
So I would say, look, folks, you've got a point of view. In a democracy, you can express it. Put it on the ballot and test it. You've been doing that for 50 years and failing, so you don't get to take over a governing party that was elected on a mandate of federalism.
I've got news for him. Roughly 60% of UCP supporters are ardent separatists.
Yeah, this is a good point. In Alberta, we have a party, provincial party called the UCP. And yeah, there are overwhelmingly a lot of people that are members of that party that are pro-independence. I think it's something like 60%, like she said. So we already have a party that's in power, and I don't even have a membership in that party. And people like me that are independence-minded people are being told to join up to the UCP. And if some kind of a vote happens within the UCP party, then there will be overwhelmingly a bunch of us like-minded people that want independence that are members of the UCP. Back to the show. Back to the story.
And roughly 60% of Conservative Party voters federally in Alberta are separatists.
Yep.
And that's from our polling data at Act for Alberta. We hired a very professional polling firm to get that for us. So he can froth at the mouth all he wants, but nobody's infiltrating the Conservative Party of Canada. They've always been there. They see you guys as appropriate caretakers, but for a lot of people, and we saw this when the...
By the way, this is Sheila Gunn Reid. She is, I think she lives somewhere by Vegreville, somewhere east of Edmonton, but she is an Albertan.
Republican Party ran in Olds in the by-election there. People agree that we should leave the country, but they're not going to risk the NDP running up the middle. We did that for 4 years. It was hell. It was nothing but a series of layoffs and oiling.
The UCP is a extreme left-leaning party that is not good for anybody, really. All they are is for themselves. It's a me type party where what they want is more socialism, more free stuff, more government-owned grocery stores and government-owned internet and government-owning cell towers and cell sites and government owning all the housing and, dictating what the rents are going to be, making sure that the rents are pretty much giveaway for everybody. And, well, maybe not everybody, but those few that, want to live in that government housing.
Gas obstructionist policies. And the early phase out of coal, which has left us with, the threat of rolling brownouts every time it gets too hot.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When the NDP were in power, they were in power for a little short time in Alberta. And the first thing they did is they borrowed, I think it was like $1.2 billion. I forget the exact amount. Don't quote me on that. But they borrowed over $1 billion in order to pay out the power companies that were burning coal to produce electricity. And they had contracts to do that for a length of time. Those contracts could have just run out, but they go, no, we want to stop coal being used for electricity today, and we will pay these companies basically over $1 billion to cancel those contracts. Absolutely a waste of the taxpayers' money. Shame on you, Rachel Notley of the NDP in Alberta, for doing that.
Too cold in this.
And you know what? We're still paying for that too, because they borrowed the money to do that. That's part of the reason we're in such debt as we are.
Oil and gas and coal rich province. So nobody's infiltrating anything. They've always been there. And this is not a party movement of Western separatism. It's outside the party system. And Danielle Smith is taking the right tone when she says, look, I'm a federalist, but I don't dismiss the anger of Albertans, and I'm letting them have their say, not telling them to shut up and get out like Jason Kenney. He's the best advocate for Western separatism. I just hope he just blabs to the CBC for months to come. Kelly, go ahead.
So, well, you'll see my thoughts on Kenney in my ex post, which he's just an insufferable human being. And as you said, Sheila, though, it's actually beautiful because he is hated by all sides, all parties. He's just a deeply unlikable jerk. And he's so condescending. His behavior during COVID was absolutely deplorable. He was an absolute hypocrite. So there's just nothing good there. So yeah, lab on. No one's going to appreciate you. You're actually helping the cause. So I'm with you there 100%. The issue here, as you said, is these words like, oh, you're infiltrating the party. Now, I'm a Saskatchewan, so I'm not going to try to speak for Albertans, but y'all are my sister province. I love you guys. I've been a separatist as well because there's a lot of Saskatchewaners who are also very much tired of the Ottawa nonsense. We might not have
Oh, interesting. She used that term, Saskabushers, which is an affectionate term for somebody from Saskatchewan, right? You're from Saskabush. But she's from Saskatchewan. And really, there's a big program going on right now for Saskatchewan independence as well. They're pushing for a referendum for independence in Saskatchewan as well. And if that happens, we will absolutely, go with Saskatchewan and form a larger country with Saskatchewan and Alberta, and go our separate ways from Canada with the two provinces.
Bigger as organized of a movement, but it's growing. And I've always held this. My husband's always held this. I haven't really considered myself a proud Canadian for a very long time. I don't fly the Canadian flag anymore. I fly the Saskatchewan flag. I just don't have any connection outside of paying my taxes and holding a Canadian passport. I don't feel it. It's not there. My grandfather was okay with being out of all this. My dad was okay with being out of all this. There's lots of us that have been ideologically separatists and ideologically feeling alienated for a long time. We feel like we're in an abusive marriage and you can't get out. It's not because we don't love our country. We did, or we do, but that doesn't mean we can stay. We're being beat up, essentially. You can't stay, even if you love the person. It doesn't matter. And we're not infiltrating anything. I mean, I ran for the PPC, which was a federalist party, but I did so because I liked the part of the policies that spoke about provincial autonomy. And we need more provincial autonomy if we're going to actually get out of this. And because that's never going to happen federally, and we see the writing on the wall, fine, okay, I'm a separatist then. What else are we supposed to do? But no one's infiltrating anything. Like you said, we've always been there. And the Albertans that feel this way have always been there. They were trying to make it work however they could federally. But it's a bust. And I think people are just done fighting. They've realized this is never going to work. They see the writing on the wall and they're out. So no, it's not some big conspiracy theory. These are just normal people. And shutting them up and shutting them down and turning your nose up at them is exactly the reason that separatists want to leave in the first place. We're tired of elitism. We love you, David. We love you Easterners that are on our side. But this, decentralized 3,000 kilometer away government full of attitude and hubris is what's caused this problem in the first place. And he's the perfect face of it, even though he's from Alberta. It's wild.
Oh, Kelly, you need not apologize to me. I'm totally on your team. I lived in Alberta in 85 and 86. I think the question to Albertans, it's not what Jason Kenney is saying, like, how could you possibly be a separatist? I think the question is, how could you possibly be a federalist, given the way you are disrespected? I think of Albertans every time, at least in the last decade, there's a federal election. And by the time the ballots are counted going forward from the Ontario-Manitoba border, it's all over, baby.
Yeah, and he's got a good point there. There was, you have so many seats in government to the east of the Ontario-Manitoba border that whatever is happening with the election in Canada, it's done. It's done at that point. And it doesn't matter whether we vote Liberal, whether we vote NDP, or whether we vote Conservative, anywhere west of that border of Ontario, it makes no difference because it's already a done deal. The government has already been decided. So really, it's unfair. We don't have enough seats out west here. Like, we do not have the representation for the population that we have west at all. They have never changed that number of seats for population as the population in Canada has expanded. But to that being said, we don't like what Ontario and what the Liberals, we should say, and the Federalists are doing in Canada. For example, one big thing is the mass population, the population explosion, the mass immigration. And it doesn't matter who you're actually bringing into Canada. You're just bringing way, 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 way too many people. Even right now, as we speak right now, they're bringing in way too many people. They're still bringing in people. They know that there's a problem with the number of people that are being brought in, but it's way too many people. We need more crows. We got to bring in more crows and less people, because crows are friendly. They, yeah, they're actually pretty good. That's a view outside my window there, where Robbie the Raven is out there having a bite to eat. But when we say too much immigration, stop it, they don't listen. They don't listen at all. So that in itself is a good reason for Alberta independence. And we're not blaming the actual people that come in, and it doesn't matter where you come from. It is a matter of the fact that there are too many people coming in. If you don't have enough jobs, don't bring people in. If you don't have enough hospital, medical, and health care, don't bring so many people in. If you don't have enough school classrooms to teach the children, don't bring so many people in. If you don't have enough food to feed everyone, don't bring so many people in. If you don't have enough housing to house the people that you're bringing in, don't bring in so many people. And you know what? The average person, I think, like a person that's retired in Canada, the average amount he makes is probably like $1,000, maybe $1,200 a month. Meanwhile, when you bring an immigrant in, the numbers that I'm seeing is that they're getting like over $3,000 a month, right? Where's that money coming from? Who's paying for that? The people that are working that are paying for that. The taxpayers. That's why they're being taxed so much. That's why you only see 50% of your paycheck. You give half of it to the government, almost half. Maybe not exactly 50%, but just under 50% gets chopped off of your paycheck. And where does that money go? Goes to all the immigrants that are coming in. You know what? They did a check on the immigrants coming to Alberta, and they found that it was net negative, where the cost of bringing immigrants into Alberta cost more than those people actually working. Very few of them got jobs. Most of them ended up being on government services, and it ended up costing the taxpayers a whole lot of money for all the immigrants that came into Alberta here. And who's having to pay for all those people? It's the taxpayers, and that's why people are getting sick and tired of that kind of stuff. They're sick and tired of the bad federal governance that's been happening. And that's, part of the big reason why Albertans want out of Confederation, because they're sick and tired of that. That's only one reason. But, I could come up with 20 reasons, maybe even 50, maybe even 100 reasons, right? The other one is that the federal government wants to cap oil, keep the oil in the ground, not have any production, so you're not going to have more jobs for people in Alberta. They want to stop pipelines, there's a bill that came out to cap the pipelines in Canada. There's a bill that came out to stop bringing ships onto the coast of BC, so you can't, even if you did have a pipeline to BC, you couldn't load it onto a ship because there's a moratorium on ships coming out there. We've got, it's Maggie the Magpie out there too, having a bite to eat too. They're splashing a lot of water on my window there. That's why you see the video. I got to go out there with a squeegee and fix the window out there, because they're really splashing that window there. I think they were taking a little bit of a bath there. I topped up the bird feeder there and put a little bit of bread in there. Oh, they're loving that bread in there. Just look at them there. They're just sopping it up and, gonna take it to the nest. Oh, put it over there first. Okay, yeah. Maggie the Magpie out there. That's our guest out on the program here. Let's get back to the Rebel here.
And all those pipeline dreams and economic development, it's already dead even before your votes are counted. How can you support that? So yes, I lived there in 85 and 86. I found Alberta to be the most gung-ho American-style province of all the provinces I've ever lived or visited in. And they have these clampers on them that I don't see what the upside is when it comes to a federal election. And Sheila, let me defer to you. For those Albertans that are still proudly flying the Canadian flag going, nope, This is where we got to be. I mean, are they masochists? I mean, what is driving that thought?
Exactly.
Nostalgia.
Jethro.
And nostalgia doesn't build an economy. Like, I am too nostalgic for the Canada of my youth, but there are very few places where the Canada of my youth exists anymore.
Jen the Hen.
Yeah.
One of those places is in Alberta, and we're doing our best to preserve it. And if that Canadian dream can only live on in a free and independent Alberta, then so be it. But we're not going to stand here with a shackle around our ankle tied to the anchor known as Laurentia and go down with the ship. We're just not. And we tried, by the way, to do it Jason Kenney's way. We tried to do it Stephen Harper's way. We've tried. Jason Kenney was premier for 4 years. What did it get us? Absolutely nothing. Our civil liberties stomped all over as though he were a liberal. No pipelines, no nothing, strongly worded letters, lawsuits that didn't go anywhere. Enough. Yeah. We tried it his polite way.
That's
We're going
right.
to do it our way now.
And if the referendum is unsuccessful, Sheila, I strongly urge that we change the name.
Ottawa does not listen to Alberta. Ottawa did not listen to Alberta. Ottawa is all for liberalism and woke ideology, crap, sending our money for woke ideology bullshit to other countries. We're sick and tired of Ottawa, sick and tired of the nonsense, sick and tired of Carney, sick and tired of his spending $100 billion since he got into office, sick and tired of the whole thing. Really, honestly, it's like, don't try and give us a perk and say, oh, well, we'll give you a pipeline. Oh, we'll give you a pipeline here. Oh, you guys are going to leave Canada? Well, hang on. We'll give you a pipeline, but make sure that you jack up 4 times those carbon taxes on corporations. No, we're sick and tired of your net zero bullshit, Carney. We're sick and tired of the net zero carbon tax, carbon credits, carbon bullshit, carbon capture. Shove it all. Like, we're out of here.
Name of Alberta to Charlie Brown province, because like Charlie Brown, he always believes Lucy is going to hold the football for him to kick. Maybe this time it'll be different. And well, Charlie Brown, he's the ultimate loser in comics. If you want to be a loser, vote for Canada.
Yeah.
Whatever happens on referendum,
the losers are in Canada. You lost.
Could go either way, according to
over.
the polling data, which means everybody's got a lot of work ahead of them. But whatever happens, even if you are an ardent federalist, do you not want the leverage that Quebec has over Confederation? Do you not want that form of autonomy? This is your one chance, my federalist brothers and sisters in Christ, to send, as we say on the billboard truck, these bastards in Ottawa a lesson. Even if you don't want to leave, this is your one chance, and you won't get it for a generation again.
That's right. Like, this may not work. We may not secede from Canada, but we sure as hell are sending a message to Ottawa, to the federalists out there.
Might never get it again, actually, because if we get anywhere near close, they're going to start changing laws. So take it, leave it all on the dance floor, because you won't get this opportunity again.
Hey,
you got it. Yeah, that's from Rebel News. Thanks, Rebel News, for producing that bit for us. We do appreciate that. Yeah, do a good job at that. Definitely pro Alberta independence there. That's kind of good to see something like that. You will never, ever see any kind of a bit like that on CBC, CTV, Global, or the rest of those mainstream media. They're all, because they're paid in one way or another, or receive discounts on taxes or stuff like that from the federal government. So they're absolutely going to be like, no, they're all a bunch of traitors, a bunch of separatists, and blah, blah, blah. They're using this information for, making fake votes and stuff like that, or fake signatures or whatever. They're going to just try and put us all down there. Let's hear from Jeffrey Rath. Official notice. My reply to someone who will be sued for defamation for engaging in libel of Stay Free Alberta canvassers. This one here is an interesting one. This is from Jeffrey Rath. and he's the one that was there when all of the boxes of signatures were brought in. Jeffrey says, that is defamatory. Somebody by the name of S.S. Sandler wrote something, and he says, that is defamatory. I wasn't involved with any voter lists. I made one post on X after being told it was a social networking project, nothing more. So that's with regards to this so-called Centurion project, which I don't think that Jeffrey Rath was involved with that. Stay Free wasn't involved with that. I was not involved with that whole thing, that schmozzle with the voter list. And it's all in the media. It's all about, oh, the voter list, the voter list, the voter list, the voter list, the voter list. Yeah. Yeah. Is that news cycle over now? Are we finished talking about the voter list? Because that's what the title is about here, right? When we talk about the lefties and the media are so triggered by Alberta independence, and they're going berserk. They're going berserk over this so-called voter list. Oh, it's a voter list. Meanwhile, I've got nothing to do with the voter list. 99.999% of the people that want independence, I've got nothing to do with this voter list. The voter list is something that the media has latched onto, and they're using it as gunpowder to try and take out the independence movement. And it's not going to work. All it is just a blip in the news media cycle. It's here today, and it will be gone tomorrow, and we won't even be talking about it tomorrow. So, you can shove that voters list. The person that is involved in it should be investigated, and if somebody did something wrong, it's probably not a criminal offense, but it's something that Elections Alberta will look into and take care of, okay? And we won't have anything to do with it because it's not really part of what we're doing here. Chris, Minister of Smart Arsery, says, I turned away over months at least 100 people. This is somebody from somebody that was taking signatures from people. This is what he actually wrote here. I turned away over months at least 100 people or more who just couldn't provide secondary paperwork to provide their residential address or legal land description. No canvasser anywhere around me forged a signature or used a list of any kind to do so. It's a massive fine to commit fraud that we were all aware of. So there you go. And that's somebody that was actually taking signatures. There was no list for, those people that were taking signatures that he knows of. And it's something where a lot of people invested a lot of their time. There were over 7,000 people out there in the cold taking signatures. And to say that, though, we need to throw away all those signatures because somebody had some kind of a voter list, big deal. Big deal. So what if there was a voter list? The voter list was being used, I think, by the Centurion Project to potentially contact people to ask them whether or not they were interested in signing for independence. That's all. I don't think it was used in any kind of an inappropriate way, but it shouldn't have been used in the first place. According to Maple Pravda, you've got some people that are saying that I am a far right-wing, redneck, ditch-billy, toothless, low IQ, Russian operative, Nazi, located somewhere in the USA. So this is somebody on X that is pissed off because there's somebody that's saying stuff like that about them. So we're being called all kind of names, and that's just to be expected. That you get what am I a Maple Pravda, far right wing, redneck, ditch billy, toothless, low IQ, Russian operative, Nazi, located in the USA or in the Netherlands or something like that? This is getting ridiculous. But we all know that the name calling is starting. You knew right away. It was the same thing with the convoy. I went on the first convoy and I saw what happened. I saw how we were treated by the federal government, which was thrown under the bus, called a bunch of names, and I knew damn well that the government would do exactly the same thing with the second convoy. And that's exactly what happened. Like, you can pretty much predict what the government is going to do, and the government is going to have operatives. In fact, the government even got the military to do nefarious stuff, against the convoy. So expect the same thing to happen. Expect the military to do stuff about Alberta. I even heard that there's even the potential that the military might, in fact, when it comes time to vote, you've got a bunch of people from Alberta. Now, in order to vote for independence, you have to be an Albertan in Alberta to vote, right? So what the military will probably do, or what the government will probably tell the military to do, because what the military does is that people that are in the military get sent to other provinces. They even get sent to other countries, right? But when it comes time to vote for independence, they're probably going to contact all of those people that are Albertans, okay, and they're going to say, "Oh, you're going to lose your job. You're not going to be in the military anymore. So go back and vote, against Alberta independence." Whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know, but potentially that could happen. Now, I heard through the grapevine, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that that's what the government did in Quebec. Right? They did that in Quebec. Now, if they did that in Quebec, you can expect that the government is going to probably do that in Alberta here too. So expect a whole bunch of people that are not in the province today to return just before the 19th of the vote in order to be able to vote, so that they potentially won't lose their jobs, because, oh, you know what? You might lose your job, but we need people in the military within Alberta. So expect to get rehired again within the province of Alberta. So don't worry about it if you're in the military. Hey, you don't need to vote the way the government tells you to. Like, stick with the program and be a true blue Albertan. If you're Albertan, use your own mind to decide whether or not you're going to do that. Here's an interesting one, which is he's talking about Ukrainians here on this one here. And this is by a guy by the name of Igor. And he's got this guy on here that's talking about Ukrainians, which I don't know. Let's just listen and hear what he has to say. This is kind of about Canadian taxes for Ukrainians. And you know that there's a war going on Ukraine, and Canadian taxes are being used to send money over to the Ukraine to fight the war.
Canadians, Ukraine is the best country in the world, but we are living in Canada because you have taxes and you have to pay us those taxes. You need to work more because we are not getting the money that we were promised to get. I did this graphic so to show you how much more you have to work. Canadians, don't be lazy. You see, first you were giving us taxes, good, but not so much. Then you gave us more taxes, good, but you need to take more shifts, 2 shifts, 3 shifts, 4 shifts. At some point, you will be working all the time. You have to be strong. We Ukrainians, we will motivate you, and you will be strong, and you will give all your money. Remember that in Canada, Ukrainians come first.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think about that? People in the Eastern Canada there, because he's talking about you too, not just Albertans, but up on top it says, this is why Alberta is leaving Canada, or maybe one of the reasons, because you're working to give all of your money to the Ukraine. The Ukrainians want all of your money, not just some money, but all of your money. Why else do you think that we're wanting to leave? Oh, how about the increase in all the opioids? How about the increase in all of these little stores, little drug stores that are opening up all over the place that have a sign out front that's like opioid clinic? It's it's got yellow and black signs on the drugstore, and it's like I don't know that I would even go into that drugstore because there's no windows in it. They're all blacked out, whatever, and it's got big signs in the front. Opioid clinic, drugstore type place, And you've got guys like this that, hang on, let me move him over to where you can see him a bit better there on this whole thing here. There we go. Over here is a bit better. We've got this update by Alberta Radio here. Edmonton pharmacist misused opioids contributed to overdose deaths. Oh, no. An Edmonton pharmacist is facing multiple charges after investigators say he misused his authority to access opioids and contributed to the overdose deaths of patients. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, you've got so many people that are taking these opioids now from these opioid clinics. And I've just noticed it recently, like one just opened up just like within the past year right in my neighborhood. And in fact, that if you guys know the story about the porch pirate that stole the headphones from me, they ended up in front, right at this opioid clinic for some reason. I wonder why that would be, that a porch pirate would be over right away taking headphones that he stole from me and going over to the opioid clinic. Oh, I wonder if there's anything, to do with the opioids and the thefts in the neighborhood and stuff like that. Yeah. It's just not good for anyone, and it's definitely not good for me, and it's affecting my frickin' life, right? That people are stealing stuff off of me, and it's directly linked to the opioid clinic over there, where they're getting their drugs over there and just living on the streets and stealing stuff and just being little a-holes, okay? That's the life that we're living in here, and that's a liberalism, and that's another reason why we want independence, so we can put a stop to these opioid clinics, stop giving out free drugs, stop the use of small quantities of fentanyl, open public use of drugs, stop the business where they can be in possession of small quantities of any kind of a drug that might be illegal. Stop stop that whole thing. Get some rehab going. Get the police arresting people that are doing that kind of shit. Get it all off of the streets and make our country just better again. Oh, we can't make Canada better again because the Liberals aren't doing a damn thing about it. But if we separate from Canada, we can definitely look after the crap that's going on here. We can look after our homelessness. We can look after the fact that we've got so many people coming into the country that we can't look after our own. That's what the problem is. That's 99.9% of the problem. You bring so many people in, and then you don't have enough money to look after the unfortunate. And who do you have living on the streets? The newcomers that are just coming in? No, that's not who's living out on the streets. It's your old stock people that are living on the street. It's your native people that are living on the streets. Those are the people that need to be helped, not the newcomers. The newcomers, they're on welfare. You're paying them welfare, and they're living high on the hog. It's crazy. Here's another reason for independence right here. If you look at this map of Canada, you can see that when the votes actually happen, when the votes happen in Canada, let's see here. Let me move my mouse in here. Okay, the votes start happening here when we elect people in Canada at the federal government. And there's so many people that are living in this area of Canada here, and there's not as many people living in this area of Canada, okay? So when the votes are all counted right here at this border, the federal government has already decided. And you can see this is all liberal. This is NDP here in the orange. So here you see where the Liberals get elected, and then you've got these here places which are either, in fact, I think this is NDP. This has gone NDP, and this has gone NDP here. So right here is basically your conservatives, or Republican, as you might call them if you're in the States. So you can see there's only a small part of Canada that is redneck, Republican, conservative, whatever you want to call us. And we will never, ever run the country because the rest of the country is far too NDP-ish. This is NDP here. This is NDP here. This is liberal up here. This is liberal all in here, all red in here. So that's the reason. Another reason for independence is that we're sick and tired of the liberalism, sick and tired of the wokeism, and sick and tired of being part of a liberal woke Canada. And, the rest is pretty much history. Hey, I'd like to thank everyone for being with us here today. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. I am Tommy Temper. This is the Tommy Temper Show. And thank you very much for being with us. We'll do it again sometime soon. I'm going to go out for a ride on my e-bike. Queenie, buy an e-bike and go out for a ride. I recommend it. Yeah, you'll pedal a little bit too. You might lose some weight. Get out of that car. Get out of that chair. Get out and see the world. Oh yeah. Sending it east to Quebec while we shoulder the blame. Thanks a lot, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate your company, everyone. Masad, Bunny, Mater, whoop, whoop, whoop. Jen, Snafu, Bry TV, all of my good friends there. Pretty soon we'll do a stream where it'll just be me talking to you, right? Chat. Or bring a few people up on a panel here. So we're looking forward for that happening. That's right. The old e-bike. I might go live on the e-bike. There's always that possibility too. So look for fun. Woohoo! Alberta independence for the win. Yahoo! From the prairie to the peaks, where the eagles soar high. We're sick of the traitors calling us traitors. That's a lie. That's right. Equalization's a thief, stealing our hard-earned pay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Axel Rose for the win. Masad, Edward Cam. Keep those worms cooking. My birds like worms. My pet birds. Where are they? Get some help. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They say it's illegal, but self-determination's all right. Like Ukraine from the Soviets, we'll fight through the night. That's what that means. No more sending our wealth to fund their endless schemes. Our pensions rising, fulfilling our dreams. Tired of the liberals, their rules and their games. Albertans away. How do you like this song? I wrote it myself. Woohoo! I gotta put this on a thumb drive or something for when I go mobile. Quack in the house. Hey, Quack, how you doing? Hey, we're gonna have a meetup. Did you hear about that meetup that we're gonna be having? A Tommy Temper Edmonton Buzz meetup. And I think that's happening on Thursday. I'm not sure. Stay tuned for it. Hey, thanks a lot for that super chat. Thank you very much. On fire, Axel Rose. Thank you very much for that super chat. Much appreciated. We'll do another show. We'll keep this going. I'm going to try and do a show every day if I can. Sometimes a little bit longer. If I stream a little bit earlier, then I can get a little bit of a longer show. I actually had a lot of stuff prepared for the show that I'm not able to show you. But when young one gets home from school, then we go out for a bike ride. So that's what's happening here today. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Gary likes the song. Appreciate that. Kenny lost a good pay pig. Kenny, just about finished. Give me a couple of seconds there. Oh yeah. Thanks everyone. Have a good time. Welcome to Canada. Catch you later. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Bye for now.